What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I first saw this information I'm about to showcase to you guys today, I thought of it in a very positive way. I thought we were finally winning as a community because, we have been catching a decent amount of dubs when it comes to Modern Warfare 2. We haven't been getting completely butchered like we have been year after year after year with Modern Warfare 2019 all the way up to current date. But when you look a little bit deeper into the details, this good information then turns into horrible information. And I gotta be honest with you guys, it's not because of Activision, it's not because of Infinity Ward, it's not because of Treyarch Sledgehammer. The reason these things are happening and the reason that Call of Duty is going to continue to be on a downward trend is because of the fact of the community. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and hop into the topic of today's video, I do want to mention, as I usually do, we are indeed on the grind of 50,000 subscribers. So, of course, if you enjoy what you hear in today's video and you enjoy hearing about FPS content, Call of Duty, Battlefield, X-Defined, stuff like that, then by all means, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that bell notification button so you can be notified on all of my recent uploads. And at the same exact time, if you do want a little extra content on the side that's not just videos, I do live stream every day besides Sundays. Keep that in mind. And I do it over on Kick a little bit more than Twitch recently, but I'm probably going to go back to Twitch. Like I said, I'm not ditching either platform. It's no way I'm going to absolutely abandon Twitch because I've been on there for so long right now, and who knows where Kick is actually heading, right? Like, we have no clue if it's even going to stay alive, so I've been bouncing back and forth, but today we will be streaming on Kick. I don't know what we're going to be grinding out, but if you guys do want to chat it up with me, hang out, and have some good vibes, then by all means, tune to the stream. The link to all that stuff is down in the description of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now, as I was saying, when I first saw this information, I was pretty positive about it. I thought, you know what, this is good because it's showing that we are no longer supporting the crap that they're producing for us. As you can see right here, this is the monthly active users for basically everything across the board that Activision owns. Activision, which is basically, I believe, Activision Online for Call of Duty. Blizzard, which is basically, Overwatch, I believe, and all that good stuff. King, which is, oh man, what's King again? King is like Candy Crush and all that good stuff. Whatever, at the end of the day, really, realistically, what we want to be looking at is Activision, right? And Blizzard. You could look at Blizzard as well, regardless at the end of the day, because, I guess that's counting for Battle.net players, PC players, but at the end of the day, you could see that the numbers have drastically decreased from December going into March 31st, 2023. Shoot, I mean, honestly, we were pretty much at the same player count as we were back in September, maybe even June. What about March? What is it looking like? Even in March, I mean, literally, we are at the same player count as Vanguard at this point. And Vanguard was not a game that we want to be comparing to Modern Warfare 2. Vanguard, in a lot of people's eyes, including mine, is a placeholder game, It was made to give Infinity Ward extra time to produce Modern Warfare 2. And here we are with the game that they had extra time to go ahead and produce. And the player count numbers are drastically decreasing, more than we actually expected. And like I said, when I first saw this, I'm like, yes, this is outstanding. It might not be good because it means that Call of Duty is on a decline, but it's good because it shows that people aren't happy with the direction they're taking Call of Duty, and we're finally taking a stand. We're backing off of the game, and we're going to, obviously move on to better things until they can fix things up. But the problem with this overall situation is that Call of Duty is a business. It's not simply a game anymore. It's not passionate like it was back in the day with Call of Duty 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. All of those games, we don't have the passion like that. Call of Duty has been turned into a business model, something that they can milk every single year. That's almost, as reliable as like subscription services. Investors love subscription services, and trust me, I guarantee the investors over at Activision love their yearly Call of Duty releases. Hence why every single time they partially try to make it seem like they're going to skip a year, they never do. We always end up getting another Call of Duty game. The next COD game was supposed to be DLC. Whatever is supposed to be coming for, quote-unquote Modern Warfare 3 is, I think, what it's supposed to be. It was supposed to be DLC for Modern Warfare 2. Sledgehammer Games was producing DLC campaigns, and then it turned into a full-fledged project out of nowhere. Once again, they're being treated as a placeholder team to go make a placeholder game, all because they want to milk the yearly process. As I was saying, they're not going to let go of Call of Duty in any way, shape, or form. This is just a perfect method for them. And what makes it even worse, like I said, is that even though the player counts are dropping, that doesn't matter to them. You know what matters to them? The money amount that they get out of these games. The player count can drop, but I mean, the player count has been pretty steady across the board. From our perspective, we're looking at it and saying, oh man, these numbers are right back with Vanguard. But from their eyes, the numbers have been average across the board from game to game. The game isn't necessarily completely dwindling out, and it's not necessarily blowing up. But what will make them, make any really huge decisions is how much money is going into their pockets. And as you can see right here, Activision Blizzard generated $1.29 billion. Let me say that, $1 billion in microtransaction revenue in quarter one 2023 compared to $1.01 billion in Q1 2022. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, something that turned out to be, something good, something positive for us personally, the community, turns into something very negative because this is why we haven't been getting the changes we want. This is why they've been ignoring the community the way they do. This is why Activision abuses us year after year after year. Because even when their game is slowly dwindling out, even when people aren't showing any interest in it, even though, their Warzone, their Battle Royale experience has now become one of the, the lowest populated Battle Royale experiences out of the three, because it used to be able to compete with games like Fortnite and Apex Legends. Not anymore. I mean, the viewer count can't even compare to those games. So even with all of this stuff presented in front of them, they have still absolutely dominated in sales. Not just with physical copies, because the physical game sold like freaking hotcakes, but with microtransactions afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is why we will never get changes in Call of Duty, and this right here, dare I say, is the reason why the community honestly doesn't even deserve anything better in Call of Duty. I have to be honest with you guys. At this point, the way that I look at it, we do not deserve anything good within COD. We don't. We fight, we complain, and then we all go ahead and start purchasing everything in the stores. Now, this, I'm assuming, is across the whole board when it comes to Activision Blizzard. I'm assuming when they say they made 1.29 billion in microtransactions, they're talking about, Candy Crush, like I said, Overwatch, Call of Duty, their whole catalog. Every game they have, they're bundling it up and they're telling us how much they made. But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean Call of Duty doesn't make any money. I mean, they have made a fortune within Modern Warfare 2. And like I said, honestly, at this point, we don't deserve anything. Because every single game, every lobby I go into, I either see a black cell bundle, I see some type of skin, something that someone has purchased out of the store. People have been investing a fortune into this game. And even more crazy is the people who are also pushing against all of this stuff on the internet, over on Twitter, Reddit. Of course, I'm not going to mention names because I'm not trying to, cause any problems here. But at the end of the day, like I said, you have to call out what you got to call out. Everybody has been saying, don't support this. If you want changes in the game, then don't buy it. This is a ripoff. Even the pay-to-win bundles in DMZ. My God. Let me tell you something real quick. There were so many people on Twitter ranting about pay-to-win being introduced into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Saying that this is awful, I can't believe they're doing this, we need to make sure that this never happens again, we got to try to get this removed from the game. And then the very next week when all of the bundles drop, each and every one of those people that I saw say this stuff have purchased every single one of the DMZ bundles. Every single one of them. The same people who were saying that this is paid-to-win garbage and it needs to leave are the same exact people who now have it owned in their catalog, in their library. You can argue as much as you want saying, well, everybody else is going to buy it anyway, so I might as well do it as well. But that's not the mentality that you're supposed to have. Because if everybody has that mentality, then guess what? That's how they're going to keep doing this. If you don't want to support something, don't support it. I don't know how mandatory it is to have these extra, slots in DMZ and, to have, these bonuses in DMZ. I don't play that much DMZ myself personally. I'm a 6v6 dude. But at the end of the day, it's paid to win, and it should be ignored at all costs. At all costs. But people coughed up money anyways. The point of the matter is that it doesn't matter how many people leave Call of Duty. We can boycott or just do whatever we want. We can all abandon the game and go to different titles and play different stuff on X-Defiant drops. We can all ditch this game and go over there. But I guarantee it doesn't matter, because what they're going to do is they're going to keep upcharging all the bundles, and they're going to make the same exact money that they made in the first place. They could probably charge $60 for a bundle. They can literally charge a full price to game for one of these bundles in the store, and I guarantee people are going to cough up money for it. It's ridiculous. It's actually a joke at this time. And like I said, we're not getting any fixes at that rate because Activision works off of money. They don't work off of player counts anymore. This isn't, like I said, a passionate project. This isn't a small indie team or something like that. No, this is a AAA team that has no need for, anybody to actually realistically stay in the game right now. As long as it's steady enough and it's not too many people, abandoning ship, it should be fine. I bet you if that player count number was like 40 or something like that instead of 98, because it was like what, December was 111 I think, and then the March or whatever it was 2023 it was 98 or something like that. But if that number was like 50 or 60, I guarantee they'll be sweating, because that's a huge player count drop. But something like that, like I said, even though in our eyes it's bad because we want to see Call of Duty growing, at the end of the day, they don't look at that. As long as it's not a huge red flag coming out saying, okay, literally over half the player base has vanished in a blink of an eye, we don't know what to do. Unless that happens, they're going to be looking at the revenue side of things. That's the only thing they're going to be focusing on. If the revenue is bad, then they're going to start working really hard. If the revenue is good, they have nothing to sweat at all. Because again, that's what the investors want to see. They want to see Call of Duty bringing in the money that it brings in every single year. If that changed, then guess what? They're either going to lose investors or they're going to have to actually change things around to make the community want to buy the game again, make them want to play the game again, and then the investors will potentially come back. They'll please the investors again. But if we're just going to keep coughing up money, then everything we're saying is useless. Like, it's hypocritical at this point. It's extraordinarily hypocritical. I can understand if you want to get the battle pass or something like that, and you saved up your COD points and you scooped it up free of charge, or even if you just want to buy a battle pass, because once you buy one battle pass, you literally get all the COD points in that battle pass for a free one, and the next one, and the next one. So even if you just want to enter into the battle pass, that's fine. But anybody who was complaining about the Black Cell bundles, the pay to win DMZ bundles, all the prices in the store being overcharged, anybody who has said anything about that and then instantly went and scooped all that stuff up, that's the problem. That right there is the main problem. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, in chat with us too, we do so have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me with live streams of video games over on Twitch. Link is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.